What up, everybody? Scuffy here, and it is time. It's a little actually overtime. It's October 3rd, 2020. I want to talk about the September Decklist contest winners. I received a total of 11 submissions for the September theme, which was Calth or Calth, depending on how you decide to pronounce it. So we've got some winners to discuss over that. We're going to be talking about the October decklist theme, as well as a few things that are coming up within the game, within the community themselves, and just within for me. Because why not? Because I can. So first off, yes, 11 submissions for the Calth September contest, and it's actually quite a bit less than the Prospero, and I'm not sure if that's just the factions involved or the lore or just what it was, but less submissions for that theme. However, all the submissions were very, very similar in varying degrees. Quite a few focusing on certain aspects of the Battle of Calth. So it made deciding winners a little hard. Some decks just edged out others by a card or two. So very pleased to keep doing these contests. I want to thank the winners before I even show who they are. I want to thank the winners and everybody who did submit submissions for September's decklist contest. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the winners.
Coming in at third place, submitted by Megazord, we have Citizen Kane. And this is an Erebus deck, which kind of paints the story of Erebus on his quest to raise the summoning ritual with a mass offering upon Calth. And he used a variety of zealots and cultists to help deviate or create the scrap code through some sabotage, which really ultimately disrupted the Ultramarines fleet at Calth. They turned the defensive satellites on the existing ships, commencing in a planetary purge and a rain of fire, while Kurt the Said and possessed Marines began their purge following the teachings of the Book of Lorgar, all for revenge due to the rising of Monarchia. It's actually really nicely deck, kind of ties everything together. We've got Acolytes and Chaos Cultists, and as far as an Erebus's motives and his actions at Calth, I think this really here just ties it together. Second place, submitted by Chaotic 1999, is the Unorthodox Reclamation deck, which is an Anethel deck, kind of representing all of the unorthodox tactics, the adaptable tactics that Anethel implemented as he kind of gathered survivors to fight back from a defensible position, the opening salvo that they had received at the hands of the word bearers. You've got Calth regulars, you've got Calth infantry, las rifle sections, you've got some civilian survivors in there as well. Whoever was available to step up and fight. Exorcism is in there as they encountered demons and they began to fight back using potentially inspiration from the Lectitio Divinatus. And ultimately, some assistance comes from the hands from Cletos Command and Evictus Terminators as they link up with additional Astartes. I think this just kind of represented that moment in Calth, where the Ultramarines really struck back at the word bearers. And then first place, submitted by Shay Goof and his Chase Through the Warp. And this is a Marius Gage deck, highlighting the story of Marius Gage as he chases after Cor Phaeron, fleeing from Calth following the ruin storm that is released. He's got McCragg's Honor with him, as well as just whoever was available to fight some Honor Guard. Captain Corvo representing that as well. Stalock Ethon represents Captain Arion Mercer, who joined Marius Gage in his pursuit of Cor Phaeron. We've got the wrath and betrayal, which is ultimately what he wanted to bring upon the word bearers as they made their way through the void engagement, asteroids belt. There's a warp assault here, Miatis cruisers. You've just got this element of just with the small command squad of veterans, the desire to pursue Corphaeron through the warp and issue vengeance. It's just nice, and I like Gage's story, and I like this deck.
So, those are the winning deck lists for the September deck list theme. Again, that theme was Calth. First place receives an epic of their choice. Second and third receive a rare of their choice. That is a contest that I am grateful enough that Everguild supports, and that's always nice that they are able to support that. Quick shout out. We had the Everguild Q&A this last week, and we had some good information that kind of came out of it, some somewhat disappointing information that kind of came out of it, and just some general, we expected this type of information coming out of it. But those take place every week, or not say every week, every couple of months on the Discord channel. And that's actually one of the nice things. Again, I point this out as often as I can, right there, that icon next to the Facebook. If you're in Discord, if you're in the Discord community, in addition to the announcements that the devs put out, as well as just a wide community that puts to shame this little global chat by any means, and you're going to see some of the same players there as well, but you can have a lot more discussions, a lot more hand-on-hand action, explaining decks, strategies, events, sharing general complaints. And if you're looking for lodges too, that's a great place to find a lodge, to find the identity of lodges. Some lodges just have a certain identity to them. So that's the little plug for the Q&A for the Discord. I'm not going to get into all the details, although we did just see that the Kalidas Assassin changed up recently. She just got a new special card added to her ability, as well as some of the warlords that she was able to change into have been shifted. I'm really kind of sad that Ophion from the Night Lords got axed, and it's nice to see Shipmaster Hamad and Karya added to the mix. That's very cool, but I do miss Ophion. I hope they change that and get that back to us. We'll see. I haven't yet tested out the new Kalidas, but I'm gunning up to. That's just one thing from the Q&A. Before I get into everything else from the Q&A, before I get sidelined and sidetracked, let's get to the October deck list theme. Now, the October deck list theme, I tried to tie it into the general spookiness of this month. I did that, I believe, last year as well. I think it was things that go bump in the night, or bump in the night was the original October theme. Well, this year I'm just trying to make it simple. The theme is monsters. That's it. It's pretty cut and dry. Monsters. What is a monster to you? What is a scary monster? Is it a monster warlord? Is it a monster from the Chaos factions? Is it just the nasty creatures that exist in the warp? Is it something more? Is it a monster of a deck? Is it the kind of deck that you see and you just like bite your nails as you face off against it? Whatever it is, this is a very broad theme. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. It's a very broad theme for a deck list submission. Take a look, take a gander, figure out what your submission is going to be, put it all together, give it a unique title. Make sure you PM that to me on Discord or on Reddit along with your player handle. Again, first place wins an epic of their choice. Second and third win a rare of their choice. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I've got all the epics, I've got all the rares, I really don't need to submit, that would be true. Haha. But we're about to talk about what else came out of the Q&A, and this shouldn't be news at this point for too many people, but the next expansion is coming out October 22nd, and it is the Angels of Caliban expansion. So you know it's going to be featuring Dark Angels at the very least. We don't have any confirmation for any other factions involved with that yet, but that's going to be a whole new faction worth of cards. So new epics, new legendaries, new rares, whatever the case may be. If you want to start off with an epic warlord, if you want to pick up one of the epics that the faction is going to have that you think might be key in the deck, it's a great way to go about it. I highly encourage anybody who's looking to add one or key card to their deck, whether it be rare or epic, to participate in the contest or share the word with your lodge mates with this about the contest as well. I like to see how many submissions we get. Usually it gets higher as we have new factions and new expansions added to the mix. I've been doing these contests now for over a year, and it's an interesting experience. I think when I first started out, I only had like 5 or 6 submissions, and now I'm getting double-digit submissions, so that's nice. That's nice. I'd like to see that increase. Only a little bit because I have to judge all of them, and that becomes really hard. So take that for what you will. I want to see your submissions, but please don't don't make me see 50 submissions in a month. I don't know how I would judge all those. I'd have to redo my whole scoring system. So that was something else that was shared in the Q&A as far as the release date. It's October 22nd. We're going to see the first new faction, which we most likely, 99%, you expect it to be the Dark Angels. It's the Angels of Caliban faction. You can't release a set with that new information and not include the Dark Angels right out from the get-go. So a lot of people are excited about that, are looking forward to that. In addition, information that came out during the Q&A, there was a long time new feature that the Everguild has been working on that was supposed to be implemented or added to the game to allow players a new way to spend their gems. As you can see, I've got 227,000 gems. I'm not alone in that camp. A lot of veteran players are sitting on gems with nothing to do. That feature is not going to be available before the expansion drops. From the sounds of it, it's getting pushed back maybe to the end of the expansion itself. That's disappointing news. I was really hoping to see whatever it was, whether it was a tournament mode, a new campaign mode, some sort of interactive way to play with your lodge mates, whatever it was going to be. I was really looking forward to it. I still am looking forward to it. Maybe even a 2v2, 2 players versus 2 players. That would be fantastic. That would just be open up the possibilities there. But right now we're not going to be getting something like that. That's going to take a little bit longer, and we'll see whatever it is when we see it. Something else that kind of came out of the Q&A from the sounds of it is definitely, and I touched on this I think during my Raven Guard card by card, a lot of complaints have been heard regarding the Raven Guard Warp Retreat, specifically Warp Retreat, how it interacts with Morta squads. So you can look to see some change take place. We have the September meta report. We just got the Kalitas patch. I expect we'll be getting another patch, whether it is large or small remains to be seen. No other confirmation as far as what factions are going to get a wide overhaul. We just got this relatively sizable overhaul to World Eaters, whether you liked it or not. So it's hard to say, although I personally think that the factions from Prospero are probably aging out, and I'm not saying aging out in a bad way, but they're kind of just where they're at a spot where they should be adjusted a little bit to kind of catch up with things that have taken place within the game. I'd like to see some changes made there, but I don't know if we're going to see that. So September Q&A, relatively productive, was not a bad Q&A. Definitely some changes they're looking to make to the game. They're also looking to raise the level cap at some point beyond 100. And in addition to that, they're going to make it a little bit more, I guess, interactive or fun in how you raise up your level, as opposed to just, gain experience, go up to level 101 and get a free crate. There might be some more involved in there. They have definitely been adding more new legendary warlords to shop deals periodically to give new players especially, ways to jump in on the game. So if you've got friends that are that either stopped playing or they haven't gotten into it because it's too daunting at this point, because we are going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go into our 6th expansion, or 6th set within the game. That's pretty daunting for a new player to get into, especially as all these cards are facing off against each other. There's no block format here. So that's kind of a good incentive to talk them into it. It might seem like a lot, paying out 20 for a legendary warlord, but if it's their favorite Primarch or their favorite faction, it may be just enough to get them started. And honestly, I don't think there's any bad Primarch or warlord, just in general. Like, I try to show that as much as possible, that you can win and play with anything. Now, speaking of winning and playing with anything, tonight, in just a couple hours, I'm going to be doing Bar Night Legions. Now, by the time you see this video, most likely that's already going to be underway, or that's already going to be over for this week. Bar Night Legions is on tonight, baby. And I plan on doing it, if not next week, there will be at least one more, the 23rd. Friday the 23rd. Why the 23rd? Because the 23rd is my birthday. And because why not? I'm gonna throw down with my bro down. I'm gonna party with my friends Marty. I don't know. I'm gonna throwing out rhymes there, but it's gonna be a fun time. Bar Night Legions, again, that is casual tournament. We're just playing for the honor of claiming the title Miodmeister. Generally, it's B tier decks. When I say B tier, I mean nothing that you're going to see at High Terra, which opens up a pretty broad range. Right now, we're not allowing Malevolence Warlords, but following October 22nd, those are going to be allowed and included in there. It's just going to be a fun time. Usually, a lot of us play off-brand Warlords. Last Bar Night Legions, I took the Miodmeister title for the very first time, running Malkarian, and I believe it was Ventress. Yeah. Hang on, I scrolled the wrong way. Yeah, I read Ventanus. I used Remus Ventanus and Malkarian, and there were two Malkarians squaring off me and Death Destroyer in the finals, and it was fun. It was good times, and neither of us, there was no. We just went that way, and it worked out. And I like how he plays. I think a slight buff will make him really a lot better than people think. He's decent as he is, but he could be super strong if they tweak him just mildly. Anyways, that's all that. That's Bar Night Legions. That's my birthday. That's new faction. That's Q&A. That's September decklist contest. That's October decklist contest. What haven't I talked about? I think I've kind of covered it all. I've got some more card-by-card reboots coming up through the week. If you like these videos, if you like the news, the information, the contests, like and subscribe. More importantly, especially as we are approaching October 22nd, make sure that you're hitting the notification buttons, because I am going to be doing spoilers for the new factions, as I have been doing. So you can definitely look to see some images before those sets are released as far as what they do, whether that there be new mechanics, warlords, whatever the case may be that I'm allowed to show in advance. I aim to do that. I really appreciate every guild letting me do that, and I think it's a good thing to do and spread the hype for the community. So make sure you're getting the notifications from there, either from YouTube or some other source, Facebook, Discord, Reddit, whatever it may be. That's it for me, guys. That's it for right now. I will be seeing a few of you all in a couple hours with margaritas in hand. So have a good one. Until then, keep playing Legions. Bye.